Welcome back to our Tuesday morning episode of See You in the AM. Good to be with you. I'm excited because today is one day closer to Thanksgiving. I already expressed yesterday, as well as on yesterday when I went live on Facebook Live, about how much I love Thanksgiving, especially this week, thinking about what we're thankful for, and obviously showing gratitude to others. Been doing some posts on that as well. So hopefully you guys are seeing those posts and creating some thought for you, as well as far as what you're grateful for, people you're grateful for, and again, nothing better than to be grateful for things in our lives. Life is good as long as you're looking at it in the right way. And today I'm also excited because it's another day of the question and answer. Now, I've been only getting to about one question during the episodes in the past, being that we're not going to be doing a Thursday episode from Thanksgiving coming up on Thursday, and tomorrow's going to be the last day of our week together for See You in the AM. I was going to answer an an additional one that keeps coming up, and I'll explain what I mean by that in a few moments. But wanted to get to it. This one came from someone in San Antonio. His name is Victor, and it was in response to Friday's blog post. I put up a blog post that was about over talking to close. Really talked about it's not being silent after the close and talking through that point. But it also addressed some ideas of over talking, like just hinted at them. General over talking, which is a major thing that prevents many people in sales from success. For the many reasons that were listed in that post. But he asked a question saying, and I'm just going to read this directly, I'm usually good about not talking through the close, like you suggest, but struggle with finding myself in long answers and responses and sometimes even losing track of what I was responding to. Any suggestions or help would be appreciated. It's a great question. You've thrown a big one out there, and that's why I chose this one for today's program as a perfect thing to help a lot of people. When I was doing sales management directly, one of the number one issues that I found with people was over-talking. The continual, as I referred to in a previous episode, diarrhea of the mouth. And I hate to use that term, but that's really the most simple term to describe it. It's something that is not a simple answer, though. It is not just, okay, just do this and you're going to be perfect and you're not going to over-talk anymore. So I work with people for months, if not years, to work at this. And that's really where the answer lies. It's something that takes time. It takes consciousness. Maybe you've noticed some of the posts that I put up, or if not, I could just refer to now, as far as the accountability. And that's where over-talking starts to diminish. It's not going to just stop. It's a natural habit. Now, again, the more confident you are, it will lessen. The more knowledgeable you are, it will lessen. The more you've played out, and that's where the practice comes in, the scenarios of what it is that people could possibly ask you. So therefore, when you're answering questions, you're not having to think so much about the answer. You're I don't want to say repeating it from a script, but it's a script inside your head that you've gone through before, a deja vu-like experience. Then you can focus on, okay, am I getting to the point, answering that question in that B format, being direct? But that comes through practice. That comes through repetition. That comes through knowing. When you are dealing with an objection or a concern and you're addressing that in what people would refer to as a rebuttal, again, what are they asking you? What is their objection? And then is your response addressing that? Now, the only way to be certain of that is to, again, just like with the questions, having played these things out and being so fluid with your ability to overcome objections and address concerns that you're not having to think about those things. They're happening by second nature. Now, in the beginning, you are going to continue to overtalk. The consciousness of it cannot just be on a daily level, meaning at the end of the day, okay, how did I do on my meetings today? How did I do on my calls today? Did I overtalk or did I not? It needs to literally be a meeting-to-meeting or call-to-call accountability, where after the call, think about what you did well. Someone asked me a question, and this is how I answered. Okay, that was more direct than I typically answer. Give yourself credit and repeat what you're doing well. And then focus on the areas you need to improve. When you are focused on what you need to improve on, you'll continue to be conscious of it and continue to make steps in a positive direction. And again, helping yourself along the way. So that's the best suggestion I could really give you. Is it takes time, and I know that's frustrating to hear, but at the same time, not something as big as over-talking and overcoming that is not a simple thing. It takes work, it takes energy, it takes effort, it takes consciousness. So hopefully that gives you some ideas of how you can do so. But just on a simplistic level, stay focused on what they're asking you or what their concern is, and then continue to stay focused on addressing that need. Now, The second question that we got is not really just a question that came direct typically, but there was a post that I referred to a few times already because it's generated a lot of feedback dealing with separating yourself from negativity. And I've gotten a couple of people that have posted on that post itself some comments, and I don't want to say disturbing, but definitely concerning when they say they were almost identical to another. But what do I do if it's in my head, or how do I separate from myself? How do you distance yourself from yourself? Tough questions again, but to me, a lot simpler of an answer than over talking. Why do I say that? Is because I believe personally that everything is a choice. We can choose to feel the way we want to feel. Yes, there are influencers, but when it comes to inside our own head, we have the ability to say, I am going to be positive. I am going to feel good about myself. I am going to be successful. And repeating those kinds of phrases to yourself, and I don't want to say brainwashing, but essentially doing such, convincing yourself of what a new reality is. You don't need to distance yourself from yourself, but what you do need to do is distance yourself from that negativity within yourself. And how do you do it? Is through believing in who you are, the good things in you, and focusing on those. Just like with anything negative in our lives, if we're focused on it, it's gonna take over. If we are focused on the positive things in our life, well, the negative things tend to go to the side. So the more and more you're able to do so, that's how you're able to succeed in this area. So hopefully that gives you a bit more insight into that question that keeps on popping up and want to make sure I'm addressing. I just want to give you guys a quote that is a quote that's a bit lengthier. I know it's been a long episode, but from Ghandi, which is an excellent quote that is really directly related to what it is we're just covered now as far as positive thoughts, which is always a good message. And I'm just going to make sure that I'm getting this accurate, so I'm going to read it directly. It says, keep your thoughts positive because your thoughts become your words. Keep your words positive because your words become your behavior. Keep your behavior positive because your behavior becomes your habits. Keep your habits positive because your habits become your values. Keep your values positive because your values become your destiny. So that is an additional answer to what I've been asked as far as how I separate myself from myself. And it all starts with your thoughts, keeping those positive, and then in turn at the end of that whole long chain is that becomes your destiny. So again, stay focused on being excellent, stay focused on being positive, and stay focused on being successful. Appreciate you tuning in today. Look forward to tomorrow where we're going to wrap up part 2 of belief, and we're going to focus on belief of product, belief in what we're selling. You have a great day. Keep sending those questions in. We got a long weekend, holiday weekend, so send those in, and we'll get back to that on Tuesday, and I'll get answers along the way to people that are a little bit more urgent. Have a great day, a successful day, and I'll see you tomorrow in the AM.